So, now that you've seen the three builds, the Barbarian Bard, the two monks version, one with 2024 only, one with 2014, that is a little bit more autonomous. We're going to show you where you could be autonomous and still as broken as when people are using the cheese grater build. And at first, this is probably, by the way, my favorite build of the four, and the reason is I checked the new class and I was like, there is so much potential. The whole class seems to have been built around making a bravado made like dancer, and it's the College of Dance Bard. That whole thing, I'm imagining, okay, a huge stature dude or gal, which is basically forcing some enemy into dancing with them, okay? You get into the fray, you get your core bard feature, you take 3 instrument, who cares? You're gonna be dancing. You don't need music, okay? You're gonna use acrobatic, stealth, and performance. Acrobatic is gonna be your bread and butter. But you have bardic inspiration. You can make yourself be even more efficient at doing whatever you want to do outside of a fight. Spellcasting, it's gonna give you a full spellcaster spell list at some point. You get spells up to level 9 at level 17 as a bard. You get new spell every HUD level as a bard. So basically you are a full spellcaster that is also able to withstand this ground on the front of the field and make sure that your other frontliner do not get hit so much. You talk my language, okay? You get your expertise in acrobatic and stealth. Nah, I need to fix something right here, by the way, just because I want to have a better DC. Screw stealth. I don't care. Expertise goes a long way. So we are now expert in athletics, okay? Jack of all trade. You're a bit good in everything anyway. So like stealth, you're not going to be great, but you're having a decent dex and you're still holding your enemy. And you take College of Dance, okay? Dazzling footwork. May seem like nothing. You get your charisma modifier as a bonus on armored defense. This is monk. This is a charisma monk, but a full caster as well. Advantage on charisma performance check you make that involves dancing. It's cute, but that's not what you're looking for. Agile strike. When you spend a use of bardic inspiration as a part of an action, bonus action, or a reaction, you can make an unarmed strike as part of that action. You can hit a second enemy with your fist and start 2 grapple at the same time. The exact same thing that we were able to do as a monk a little earlier, but with a key point. So at level 3, you can literally put your hand on 2 enemy, grab them, and be like, yeah, that's how I'm going to use my bardic inspiration now. It is so solid. It's insane. And you get your bardic damage. You can use your dexterity instead of your strength to the attack roll of your unarmed strike. So you don't need strength. Still fist the enemy so hard. You can use charisma as a damage option on your fist. This is screaming. I wanted to be a monk, but I also wanted to be a full ass caster. It is OP. I love it in every way, shape, or form. I read College of Dance and I was like, it looks cheesy and bad. I'm reading the stats and the buff that it gives you, and I'm like, this is insane. And roleplay wise, you're gonna be all over the place. It's so good. You are like hitting so well the enemy. You're dancing so well that when you hit an enemy with your fist, he's like, oh man, I'm taking beauty damage. Wow. Font of inspiration. You now regain all your bardic inspiration when you finish a long or a short rest. So what the warrior was good at, the fighter was good at, like re-getting its use of its cool stuff every time you take a short rest. You can go and take a short rest with the fighter now. You also get back your bardic inspiration. It's so cool. Inspiring movement. When an enemy you can see ends his turn within 5 feet of you, you can take a reaction and explain one use of your bardic inspiration to move up to half your speed. Then one ally of your choice within 30 feet can do the same thing. You are so inspiring when you dance. The enemy comes to you, you take your reaction and you're like, nope, and you just go away the way you want. But it doesn't say that you cannot be grappling someone. So think about it. You are dancing with an enemy that you grapple, because this is how you do your grapple. You're that cool, you know? You are dancing with an enemy that you grapple. Another enemy comes and tries to help his friend by hitting you. And you're like, nope. And you go away with his friend onto the cheese grater if someone gave you one. And if not, just like for the whole freaking, I'm not fighting, I'm dancing vibe. I love it. It's insane. And you bring a friend to do that. If you are 2 grapplers in your team, which like at some point, I'm sure there's some party that will build around that, like 2 or 3 grapplers, a cheese grater fixer, and you just dance. You pick your enemy, you scratch them into the spike growth, you put them in the firewall while dancing because you can do it. You're inspired. It's insane. I love it. And you have tandem footwork. When you roll initiative, you can expend 1 roll of your bardic inspiration. If you don't have the incapacitated condition, when you do so, roll your bardic inspiration dice. You and each ally within 30 feet of you, which you can see and hear you, gain bonus to initiative equal to the number roll. You give initiative bonus to your friends. You can give a thing that is better than the hold alert bonus when you roll high to everyone. This is so great. Counter charm. This is like a thing that can go and make you do a saving throw against charmed or frightened condition. You can take a reaction and the save can be re-rolled. The new roll has advantage. This is like giving 2 more dices of not getting charmed to your ally. It's solid. It's a good pick. A charmed ally can really fudge up the tide of a fight if it's like your barbarian or the most aggressive dude in your team. Counter charm, you want it. It's a good way to avoid these kind of situation. It's not like it's defensive. It's not the thing the build is based around. At level 8, you take Tavern Brawler. Because, yeah, it's cool to be able to grapple your enemy and dance with them and stuff. But what's even cooler is to be able to do more damage when you do so. Because I can use my charisma to do my fist attack. Very nice. But they still hit for 80. They still hit for 1. You know what I mean? Now, instead of hitting for 1, they will hit for 1d4. It's a little more. It's working your way. And you take Constitution score because you really plan to be into the fray with that kind of bard. You take your expertise in performance and persuasion, or whatever you feel like. It's a little late for performance at level 8, but you know, who cares? Yeah, we already said that. And level 10 is the moment where you become unneedy of a friend. So I know this build is level 12, and this is usually where I stop most of my build, because past that, so little game reach this that it's almost not worth even theorizing about it at some point. But if you use your magical secret, you can go and not be in need of an ally to cast Spike Growth or Firewall or whatever. Oh, from the moment you reach level 10, you get to be autonomous. You do Spike Growth, you do Firewall, you do... I had a third option. Now we had it into it. And welcome everyone. We're doing we're cutting that video, so I'm happy to see you here. Hopefully you're going well. We picked a bunch of spells that do fit the thing. There's a few that have magical secret here, and that's up to level 12. So we get to have like 3 or 4 magical secret things. You will have, no, it's 3 at level 12. You will have to select the one that you want to really have. But since you're playing a dancer and your goal is to get into the fray and grab some enemy to dance with you into the game, you have to make some decision. Wall of Thorn is basically going to do what the other one that the Spike Growth was doing, but as a wall. So you can take your enemy and rake him in the wall, and he's going to take a bunch of damage. It's either that or Wall of Fire. I would almost recommend Wall of Fire more, and the reason is super simple. It is level 4. So you're going to be able to spam it starting at level 10 4 or 5 times a day, which will give you a lot of opportunity to just swing your enemy in and out of the fire while you're dancing, holding him. Hold monster always a good option. Mask your wound because like sometimes your friends need some healing. Teleportation circle is very much a utility spell. It's not to fight. Hero's Feast, same thing. It's to start well the day with your allies. So here, either you have to go with Wall of Fire or Wall of Thorn. I'd recommend Wall of Fire because you can get it earlier. You can pick Spike Growth by yourself at level 10 as well. So we're having this going on. Word and Cure Wound because sometime a friend falls and you need to help. And Long Strider in the best case scenario, okay? On every other build that I showed you, you would like to have an ally giving you Long Strider. It adds you 10 feet of movement speed for an hour. You want to have an ally just spamming it on you as a ritual, okay? This is no, you cannot ritual that. Oh, fudge. Like if you know you're going for a big fight, you want an ally casting that on you, but this build wants to be autonomous, so you can cast it on yourself and just like not care about the others here. You can have your Wall of Fire. You can have every good stuff. Most of the spell we picked here are supportive spell. The reason is simple. We don't plan on using spell that much. Most of our fighting action will be used to keep control over an enemy or two by using the Grappler's Feet. So there you got it. We took Entertainer just because there was another option that was giving us Tavern Brawler, but we already picked it at level 8. Mission is not bad. It's going to give you basically a... Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Entertainer. What the fudge? Encouraging Song. This is the thing I wanted to look for. As a short or long rest, you can play a song of a musical instrument and which have proficiency and give heroic inspiration to ally that hears the song. The number of ally who can affect this way is equal to your proficiency bonus. Basically, you can pick 2 allies that you're going to be like at the start. You can at some point, if the DM asks you for a big important roll 2 dice instead of 1. It's not necessary. It's a little plus. It's like a cheap version of Lucky, you know? So poor man's version of Lucky. And I wanted to go for Grappler. I wanted to go for Goliath again for the same reason we went earlier. Large form, level 5. You can start going large when you need to just go and start to grapple a monster that is way too big for your ally to be able to really grapple them. So that's a big plus. Again, I'm going for Cloud Jumps because I really, really love to be able to position my character where I want it to be more tactical about how we approach a fight. And Powerful Build, which like lets you also have an advantage when you try to get out of the grapple condition. Because if there is one thing that can happen when you try to grapple an enemy, is that the enemy could try to grapple you. And if, yeah, like, he's not unable to grapple you. So take that into consideration. It could go against you if you fail your grappling. Powerful Build will give you advantage on like not being grappled by the enemy that you're trying to grapple. Basically like cut off the hugs. It is the only one that we have that we kept at 8 in strength because I wanted him to feel light. We have 18 in dexterity score at the end with a 14 point here, 16 in constitution. You're able to take some damage. Charisma 16 so that we have a high AC of 17 by level 12. And you also have access to a little something more, which is Mage Armor. You could pick Mage Armor as a spell for yourself. When you do so, your armor is not 17, it's 20. You're hard to hit. The guy that you're holding has to hit you. You are controlling the field by holding 2 enemies at a time, and your acrobatic check is 12. Your athletic check with the change we just did a second ago is 7. The DC to be able to get out of that is going to be a DC 17, which is still very hard to get out of. And that does not take away anything from what we were saying about the cheese grater earlier. If you are holding your enemy, there is a spike growth here. You rake his face in and out repeatedly. With Long Strider, your speed becomes 55. This is 165 feet of movement. This is 33 d4 of damage, unsavable, unreducible. It's just insane. The Grappler's Feet came from being one of the most niche meh thing to pick to become one of our most untapped source of potential power that we've seen, you know? And that's about it. So if you guys liked whatever you got as a recommendation in our video, please drop a like and subscribe. Oh man, I should do that like with full screen. So that's about it. If you guys liked any of the build that we showed today, please drop a like and subscribe. This would help a ton the channel. We just started this channel with the Grapplers series. So yeah, we're doing our best. On that, guys, it's time for us to set down our hankers. I wish you that a win will always be on the back of your cell, and I'll see you on the other side. Ciao!